Jacksonville, Florida, population of 17,200 citizens. It was a bustling city with a brand new streetcar service that brought its patrons up and down the streets, dropping them off at many shops, restaurants, businesses all throughout the warm summer days. It was a real slice of Americana. Jacksonville was also built with many wooden buildings. This, combined with a prolonged drought, became the catalyst of its own downfall. May 3rd, 1901, at the Cleveland Fiber Factory, sparks from the chimney of a nearby building started a fire in a pile of Spanish moss that had been laid out to dry. First, factory workers tried to put it out with a few buckets of water, as they had frequently done on similar occasions. However, the blaze was soon out of control due to the wind picking up out of the east. A brisk northwest wind fanned the flames, which spread from house to house, seemingly with the rapidity that a man could walk. In total, the fire destroyed 146 city blocks, 1,700 homes, and 2,368 buildings. The damage was estimated at $15 million back in 1901, which translates to $454 million today. The New York Times, May 4th, 1901, Jacksonville, Florida, swept by flames. Whole streets burned. 10,000 persons homeless. Henry Klutho, born in Breese, Illinois, opened his morning paper to the devastating news coming from the South. What did this man with a keen eye and artistic talent see? He saw an opportunity. By the end of 1901, he was in Jacksonville, rubbing elbows with the politicians and businessmen, and was selected to build the first multi-story structure in the now completely barren downtown area. It wasn't long before he became the go-to man in Jacksonville, designing the new city hall as well as multiple homes. Then, in 1905, he traveled to New York to conduct business. It was during this trip that he met the man that changed his entire life. That man was Frank Lloyd Wright. You may know Mr. Wright by one of his more popular works called Falling Water. Mr. Wright's use of simple geometric shapes, integration of structure with natural surroundings, and strong horizontal lines is what made him stand out among the rest of the more common Roman and Greek-style architecture. Klutho, Wright, as well as many other architects, worked together to design a new style of architecture, which some called Prairie School, while other architects called it the Chicago Group, just to give it a little bit more machismo. Fast forward to today, where this beautiful style continued to be a cornerstone in the development of fantastic buildings in Jacksonville, Florida, and throughout various other locations all throughout the world. On July 31st, 2020, I went for a walk on Riverside Avenue to see what these structures look like today. 2254 Riverside Avenue, designed by W. Mulford Marsh. In 1916, architect Mulford Marsh designed several fine prairie-style residences like this one. Its gently sloping prow roof with flared eaves is echoed by the cantilevered porch roof and the prow-shaped porch railing. The horizontal predominance of the house is emphasized by masonry bands, a trellis, the roof lines, and the terraced front stairs, all of which are skillfully set against the vertical progression of board windows on the front of the house. The house was originally built at a cost of $9,500. 2525 Riverside Avenue. Marine contractor J. Edgar Iwanowski was the original owner of this large house, which later served as a headquarters for the local chapter of the American Red Cross. It is one of the few prairie school houses built in Jacksonville in the 1920s. The most distinctive features of this residence are the cross-pattern decoration of the porch railing, which is repeated in the central windows of the second story in the dorm. Dramatic prairie-style urns flank the main entrance. A massive tile porch roof is supported by tapered piers with simple geometric capitals, and the length of the roof is extended to include a porte-cochere. 2805 Riverside Avenue. This is one of the three houses on Riverside Avenue designed by Ransom Buffalo in the Prairie School idiom. Its low-pitched tile roof has broad eaves, and the simple, abstract ornamentation on the porch piers adds to the emphasis on horizontal lines. The semi-elliptical arch and the recessed front doorway are almost identical to the entrance of 2165 River Boulevard, designed 5 years earlier by architect Bert Taylor. Built for wholesale grocers C.W. Zaring in 1917, this distinctive brick residence was purchased 5 years later by Jacob E. Cohen, president of Cohen Department Store. 2821 Riverside Avenue. This home is actually one of my favorites. Prominently sited on a large corner lot, this is one of the best remaining Prairie School residences in Jacksonville. The broad overhang eaves, canopies, and extensive windows provide natural cooling and ventilation in Florida's tropical weather, allowing the windows to remain open in the rainy season. The ornamentation is simple and abstract, and contributes to the horizontal rhythm of the composition. Although its architect is unknown, the overall design was obviously influenced by Klutho's George W. Clark residence, which is located at 2049 Riverside Avenue, and that was built in 1911. Unfortunately, it is now demolished.